My name is Yoseph Haddad. I'm an Arab citizen of Israel and a fan of Maccabi Tel Aviv. What I've been told you about Maccabi Tel Aviv is completely a lie. Maccabi Tel Aviv has Arab and Jewish fans.
Genocidal baby killer!
Genocidal baby killers!
Arab players.
Maccabi Tel Aviv has also Jewish players playing together. This guy is an absolute useful idiot, a terrorist supporter that does not understand anything about my country, my team and my society. We're here for a simple reason, not to antagonize, not to do any violent actions. All our mission is very simple. Stand here clearly and say, stop the hate, don't be anti-Semite, and understand one simple thing. We are on the right side of the history. We are the ones who have been attacked time after time, and we are the ones who defend ourselves. And keep in mind, those terrorist supporters and those terrorists who attacked us, attacked Jews and Arabs, killed Jews and Arabs, and kidnapped Jews and Arabs. It happened time after time. So we're standing here, and if you have a problem with us being here, then I have one question for you. You have a problem with us and not the fact that people cannot come to Britain and watch a football game because you have extremists here who don't want certain people to be here? You should check yourself. We're not in Nazi Germany. This is not the 1940s, 40s. It's 2025, and I promise you, we will not be silent. We will be here, we will show exactly the truth of the Israeli society, and we will scream it and we'll shout it as loud as possible. Stop the hate. Point.
You know, he said not to make a point or not to antagonize, and he's standing there waving his Israeli flag. One person went by, and very, I just walked by, as other people did. They walked by and ignored this clown, and the guy shouted, but it was clear that this guy wasn't it was a local Villa fan, and this guy's called him a useful idiot and a terrorist supporter. Andrew, what we said came true, except that there was no violence. That it was kept very, very calm in the end. The Irish FA, the Football Association of Ireland, it's not the Irish FA, Football Association of Ireland, passed a motion that they would bring to UEFA to freeze Israel in European football clubs and teams. And at the same time, Irish basketball brought forward a motion as well to Basketball Europe, which fell. No one supported it, to do the same thing. We're still no nearer to getting any sense being shown by because again, there's people like this, as I said, like the idiots who come up shouting in on top of the Aston Villa fans, and this clown looking like what he was looking for was to try and get a smack in the mouth, because this guy's a really, really bad actor, Yoseph Haddad. He's a personification of evil in many, many ways, because he's anti-Jewish, he's anti-Christian, he's anti-Muslim, he's a psychopath. So, but we're no closer to any resolution.
Well, I mean, the main thing, I'll keep saying it again and again, it seems so blindingly obvious, and yet we have to keep saying it because people keep missing the point. It's not about Jew or Arab. It's not about Israeli or Palestinian. It's about safe or unsafe. It's that simple. I mean, how many times do we hear idiots co-opting a very, very hot button topic and twisting it to support something that gets them more clicks, gets more eyes on their video, not on any actual issue? It's nothing to do with football fans watching a football match, as he claims in that video. You mentioned, fortunately, there was no major outbreak of violence. There were 11 arrests on the night, which, to be quite honest with you, I think is a huge credit to however the policing and the security was arranged around the city to manage a situation like that. Birmingham is a city of over 1 million people. There were somewhere in the region of 25 to 30% Muslim people living in that city, and that's just in the city. As you mentioned, people coming from outside. Thankfully, that absolute moron Stephen Lennon and his group didn't have as much of an impact as perhaps we feared they might do. Not for want of trying, not for want of shoving his face on social media saying, "Come on, guys, let's come and support Maccabi Tel Aviv." Obviously, he hasn't the slightest clue what Maccabi Tel Aviv is. All he's interested in is his own face on social media. And that's the problem with today. People are looking at completely the wrong issue. We're no closer. And sadly, we never will be. I would love to say, look, this is what I think we need to do. The only option to keep people safe at this point genuinely is to follow what the Irish authorities have tried to do, what sensible people are trying to do, which is simply say it's not about Israel, it's about the safety of people. For that reason, Israeli clubs, for the time being, we just simply have to take them out of the firing line. We have to take people where they will be playing out of the firing line. It's about the safety of everybody on both sides and in the place where they will be living. Some people have no interest in football at all. They have no. People in Birmingham may or may not be Aston Villa fans. They may not even be football fans, and yet they live there, and they could be caught in the middle of some very unpleasant, unsafe situations. That's not worth the price of, oh, I want to watch my team in person instead of on TV. Yes, we would all love to. I would love to see Russian clubs playing again. It breaks my heart to see some talented young players who have absolutely no hand in anything, any geopolitical situation that's happening, and yet they effectively have. It's not. I don't think it's being overly dramatic to say had their careers completely changed. They will have no exposure to European football. And not that many Russian players would go and move to European clubs. Some do, but generally slightly out of the central line. We have a Russian goalkeeper playing in Norway, for example, who's doing fairly well for his team over there. But there were players, okay, like for example, Alexander Batchikov at Lokomotiv Moscow right now, absolutely tearing up the Russian Premier League, could easily play in one of the top 5 leagues. He's not going to do that, whether it's because of his safety or not, but no clubs would take their chance on him. Well, with Israeli clubs, it's the same situation. At the moment, people are looking at a geopolitical issue and trying to argue that football can be argued purely on football terms. It's not a football issue. It's not a geopolitical issue. It's a safety issue. How many times do we need to say this until it sinks in?
Yeah, again, we got, as you mentioned, like, I mean, these stadiums, like Villa Park, like many of the English stadiums, Scottish stadiums, they're in residential areas. You know, like that's, I mean, Luton Town, you basically have to go through a house to get into the stadium. So, I mean, same in, you know, Dedryman Park in Dublin. So, St. Pat's Athletic in Dublin, in Chicourt. That is an issue where we've seen it even with Derry City, with their fans. We played it before where they started attacking the Bows fans with fireworks. And that now is becoming a major issue in Irish football. And that's very, very minor. And it's something to be sorted out very, very quickly with some of the locals that are there in Derry, for example. So, yeah, I think it's something that we knew was going to happen. As you said, 11 arrests is not a bad number. I thought it was very good policing. And as you said, spying Keir Starmer, he basically, it was all bluster from him and Lisa Nandy, they're blah, 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 and then quiet. I
mean, it was a platform for political currency. And honestly, it was so blindingly obvious. I almost spat my tea out when I read the comments he made about how this is an anti-Semitic thing. There was a I don't know if you saw, Alan, as well, outside the stadium. You know how led by donkeys like to do their displays outside and project images onto, or sometimes drive past an electronic billboard. There was one of those outside, and I just find the exact phrase they used, parked right outside Villa Park. Banning Jews is discrimination, not protection. You absolute clinical moron. It is the complete opposite of that. It's so blindingly obvious. It is protection. It is not discrimination. Oh, Alan, I get so wound up when I see things like this. It's so boneheaded, and they know that it will be picked up by enough media and enough people, and enough brilliant idiots will believe them and think, oh, next time this comes around, yeah, we need to stand up for this. We need to give a good kicking to those dirty Arabs. I mean, excuse my language, but I'm paraphrasing what people would say. That's the mentality that's fostered when people see things like that, because people don't think for themselves, the vast majority.